now. I just get in.
Oh god.
I hope this doesn't tear off any bits you'll miss later.
Why didn't you mention that before? Still got all my bits. They just hurt extraordinarily much. Who needs trains and planes? We ought to have sent the mail by cannon.
All right. All right. I've opened the door. Now, please, just go.
Thank you kindly.
I'm going to have the worst headache for the rest of the week.
Yeah, good luck getting in. As if he just runs in. Okay. Fucking baloney. This guy really wants to start something weekend.
Lucky I don't believe in ghosts.
Flash. For those times you gotta go extra fast. Alright, so my escape route is just straight. Of course. At risk of fighting my way out of here entirely, I might as well just wait for this guy. Although if you're gonna stand there anyways. I hate how when they're in an idle animation, it shows them as like, or it has them blocking, but you only see them as standing there. Because if I know they're blocking, I'm not going to stand there and hit like 7 or 8 times.
The broadcast tower can't be that far from here. I wonder what the executive committee's up to right now.
But like, if they... Let's go for tireless. I'm nearing the end of the game, I know it. Because I didn't even realize I had enough points for both of them. What was I saying? Oh. Yeah, I lost it. It's fine. You guys always hear me ramble and rant on anyways. It wasn't important, obviously.
I don't throw up.
Oh, about the fucking idle blocking animations. Again, if I know they're blocking, I'm not gonna swing 7 or 8 times. Double rainbow. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Fuck off. Why do... I hate this game. Hate it.
Look! They've got blood on their hands!
The killer's right there!
I'm sure there's nothing over there.
The elevators must be up these stairs.
fabulous day in Barrington Wells.
Excuse me. I didn't mention it before when we were here as Arthur, but this area right here really reminds me of the area in Bioshock 1 when you first come into the lighthouse. And you jump in the bathysphere. Ah, fucking...
Ollie, you mustn't take so much joy.
Well,
You'll
I'm
forget everything.
gonna sit here for a minute then, because, you know, don't have a choice. I need to be on Joy to get past the headmistress. There's no way I can without it. Well, I could, but it's just gonna be a hell of a fight, and I really don't want to deal with that.
Margaret! I can't see you! Margaret!
Alright, try this again.
Oh, I don't think I want to try to get past Headmistress while she's on the job. I better shut
You
her
know
down
how I would
first.
fix everything.
Sorry, ma'am. I need to get upstairs.
You'll have to ask. You know those signs they have in the village that say smashing and all that? I'd make them blink, and I'd make them bigger.
How would I shut her off? Of course, she's on a track.
The elevator's shuttered. Could you open it?
I'm so sorry. I'm in a bit of a jam. Would you mind asking one of my colleagues?
Sorry, ma'am. I need to get upstairs.
You'll have to ask someone who has time on her hands.
Okay, well, they're just dicking me around, so... There's a way up on my left, a way up on my right. I'm just gonna do it on our own. Let me up. Fuck's sakes. There we go. Easy. Do I still have sneaky shoes on? I should. Come on.
Where do I turn on the bloody power to the elevator? Well, lad, this is what we trained for.
Okay, so I want to go back down in a second here.
How did I get here?
Did you go and see Sally Boyle?
I can't have. She's in the village.
Or she came to you? It doesn't matter.
She comes by. Why does she come by? Do we trade?
What did you buy from her?
Oh, my memory's more than usually fuzzy.
Did you take something she gave you?
I was sad, wasn't I? And ashamed. I can still feel it. I just don't know why.
You bought something from her, didn't you?
Why was I sad? What have I got to be ashamed of? Margaret, don't look at me like that. Can't help it if I don't remember.
Make sure I do this right here. There's a shovel up here. Interesting. And a Jimmy bar. Okay. Yeah, you're lucky. Short spike. Probably need it.
Ah, there we go. And up I go.
Hey. The truth. You're about to reveal the truth. Are you ready? Once you go through these doors, you are done with any adventures in Wellington Wells. Well, like I said, I'm doubtful that there's anything over here. Remembering from Artie's playthrough, it just loops around. And the whole point of it was to open the shutters. But because the shutters are already open, I'm going to guess there's nothing over there. If there is, I'm already here, so... I don't think there is a committee. There's definitely plagueies, that's for sure.
What the hell happened here?
Food production.
Good Christ, it's all going down the crapper.
You don't have to talk like that.
We'll have a little look around. I don't understand how they can't sustain themselves. I mean, yeah, meat would definitely go, but there's alternatives to meat. But you can't tell me that they can't grow their own fruits and vegetables or wheat. Not gonna lie, this song's kinda catchy. Grooving along to it. I meant to read that. Upsetting articles, September 14th, 1964 to Victoria Bing from Penelope Snug, read double plus unhappy articles. I know that you're short-handed with Miss Holmes on holiday. However, we have now had 4 workers hospitalized as a result of accidentally reading old newspapers. Please prioritize all articles relating to the thing we don't talk about for eradication. I am enclosing 2 of them here for your immediate attention. Penny. The Current. To the editor. Enough with the bleeding heart editorials. The agitators that were hanged had it coming. If they had destroyed the Register of Children, the whole town would have been destroyed. Stick to reporting the football scores and save the editorializing. We don't need police looking for every Tom, Dick, and Harry that took care of those outlaw parents. What are the police going to do? Arrest the whole town? Archibald Bunker, Eel Pie Home. I know I've read that before. To the editor, I must vigorously disagree with your recent editorial regarding the vigilante action. I've read this. Definitely have read that. Rotten carrot, don't mind if I do. I'm not expecting to find anything here, but I figure I might as well loot anyways. Mob or justice or mob violence? I don't think I've read this before. Justice or mob violence? Taxi. Thanks to a bit of British ingenuity, the Belpit brothers, who were too ill with measles to take the train to Germany last week, will be able to join their playmates after all. General Bing's office dispatched a taxi to drive the youngsters to Dover, where they arrived just in time to board the German ship. It was certainly a challenge to find a working taxi in these times, notes the General, but we must all go above and beyond. The Oak Current wishes the Belpit boys a bon voyage. Alright, let's head in there.
Who's in charge here?
You're in luck. It's me today. We rotate the dread responsibility. Do I know you?
So, there's only one of you who doesn't take joy on a day?
I might have had a little.
The tanks in the military camp. Did you know they made of papier-mâché?
Oh, that's terrible. Would you like a joy?
Have you been getting out into the village lately? People are getting a bit slim. And these charts, are we running out of food?
Oh, no, don't look at the charts. They're horrible. Here, let me get you another joy. We've got our own booth.
They're the executive committee?
So, you people are in charge of the whole shebang?
That's us. Ever since the victory. What's wrong with the tanks?
You know what? I've forgotten.
Oh, good. Well, come back if you remember, but with any luck you won't. Be seeing you.
We have to tell people. They need to make a new executive committee.
Absolutely. If they won't heed the loony from the garden district, they're sure to hearken to the dead girl in his head.
They'd listen to Uncle Jack.
You know what that man did.
Everyone listens to him. All day long.
I can't stand his smirking face.
Ollie.
You're right. You're always right. But it's not going to be pretty. If we go upstairs, we're going to make him tell the truth about bloody everything.
In which Oliver needs a spoon. In which Oliver realizes he needs a very large spoon. For most of his life, Oliver had worked for other people. Mostly, he had worked for the General. The Starkeys were common, hard-working folk. They owned no factories, they did not even own shops or a fishing boat. Oliver's father was a quarryman, hacking at the sparkling grey granite. His father had been a quarryman too, and that was as far as Oliver's pedigree went. My voice goes for some reason. Oliver had always assumed that other people knew what they were doing. At any rate, they always told him they did. So it was rather a shock when he went to see the very important people who were in charge of all of Wellington Wells. They were not debating policy. They were not reading reports. They were not even filling out papers. They were playing pat-a-cake. These folk would not be interested in papier-mâché tanks. Oliver realized they would not warn the people of Wellington Wells to stop taking their joy, or they would all starve to death with plastic smiles stuck on their faces. There was only one person everyone in Wellington Wells trusted, and that was that man. The bad man, who had driven Oliver out into the wilderness because it was the only place that Oliver did not have to see his sick smile on every screen. The man who told the Germans where to find you, O best beloved. In your hidey hole, in the spandrel. The man who was responsible for your death. Oliver would have to face him, and ask him, as a favor, to tell the truth. It was the hardest task Oliver had ever set himself. Oliver would rather have fought the Minotaur in the Labyrinth, or facing German machine guns. But those opportunities were not an offer, O best beloved. And so Oliver, trembling with sadness and rage, set out to see the man who had caused all his sorrow. That does make sense because there was definitely the question of closure with Margaret.
Hello? Yoo-hoo! Hello! Here's Ollie! Hello!
Place is
Time to pay the piper, Jack.
really gone to shit. Sawed off, your bloody wankers. To the executive committee. I am a skilled makeup professional, yet my talents are wasted whilst Uncle Jack is simply too happy to come to work. The boys in the broadcast studio think I am only here to flirt with, given that I have nothing else to do. It is frustrating as I turned down a job as Davy Hackney's assistant for the chance to work in television. Fortunately, Mr. Hackney has put aside his grudge and offered me a new position, which I have accepted. I'm not giving you the requested 1 month notice, as I do not believe it will make any difference to you. Please forward my remaining wages to me at the Clanton Center. Nancy. Missed that apple there. It's me. This must be Uncle Jack's quarters.
Where is he?
Good Christ! He's gone off! You can't have gone off! I've got things to tell you, Jack!
It's his last show.
How'd you ken that?
The camera's smashed. They couldn't have shot another. Play it.
Let's see what Jack has to say for himself.
I'm sure I had it right here. You know, there are times you can actually take a little too much joy and, well, then you can't remember where anything is, can you? Ah, yes. Here it is. Mrs. Florence Gilbert of Brougham Hayes is holding an exhibition of her hand-knit dolls. Well, she likes to make dolls from all over the world, all knitted in wool.
It's his last show.
How'd you ken that?
The camera's smashed. They couldn't have shot another.
Do you know who'd have liked that? Margaret.
Why is he talking about you?
Who's Margaret?
Because I love dolls.
What am I talking about? Who cares about the past? Well, listen. Do drop by to see these fabulous dolls at Mrs. Florence Gilbert's.
Poor thing.
Poor thing?
She loved dolls, you know. She had dozens of them. They're from all over. I can assure you that there's absolutely no truth to the silly rumor that the food is running out.
How does he know about your dolls?
However, it is true that there's a brand new flavor of joy. You think a 12-year daughter would be over dolls?
His daughter?
Yes, Ollie.
But she'd make these darling little costumes. I knew it was wrong. I mean... She was even excited about going to Germany. It was me. I couldn't imagine living without her, so... So I hid her. Someone tipped them off. And she ran.
No, that's not right. It was Jack what turned you in and I what tried to save you.
No, Ollie. You turned me in.
I'm afraid we've come to the end of our time.
But you were my daughter.
Jack Worthing. Margaret
I mean it.
Worthing. You're Ollie Starkey.
No, I couldn't have. I could never have betrayed you. You're my...
Neighbour. I was your neighbour.
How could I? How could I do a thing like that to a little girl? Dear God. Dear God, I'm sorry, Margaret. I never meant to hurt you.
Well,
It's a bit late for an apology.
What can I do? Tell me.
do you hear me? We've come to the end of our time. The food's run out. We're all going to starve to death. You have to stop taking your joy. Take it from Jack Worthing. It's me.
People have to know
But Jack's your father?
Stop.
that Jack's gone, that the food's run out,
All have to stop.
that they have to stop taking the joy.
Stop it.
You have to broadcast the tape.
Right, I could do that.
But you won't, will you?
God. God, I never meant to hurt you, Margaret. I'm sorry.
Wow. There's I didn't mean to do that. There's a lot to digest there. And like paragraphs to read. Yeah, I can imagine. I didn't see that coming. You know what? There was a while ago, we definitely seen something that was suspicious, but I kind of overlooked it. And as soon as she said, you know, Jack Worthing, Margaret Worthing, it kind of all fell together and made sense. But yeah, no, I thought, I don't know. That's wow. That's so far I have to say Oliver's my favorite story. It feels like it's the most impactful. I'm not going to get into it right now. Obviously, I leave all that stuff till the end, but wow. God help me. Lost under the crates in the train station. We were at the darts at the King's Head, Tommy and Harry and I. We'd had a couple of pints, nothing too serious, not enough for excuses later, not enough to miss the dartboard. I don't know how many sheets to the wind was Jack, but I could hear him crystal clear. An actor knows how to pitch his voice so it reaches the back of the hall, and yet he's not yelling. And there he was at the bar, accusing us regular army lads of bending over for the Jerrys. Not that Jack had ever been to a battle, except to Agincourt in his imagination, when he played Westmoreland in Henry V. He was just home guard like half the town. The girls stitched uniforms together and sent the boys into the fields, with some Lee Enfields from 1916. The general took one look at these lads and knew there was going to be a slaughter. He lied about a lot of things, but that bit was true. There was no fighting the Jerrys in 1943. But this is 1947, and now he's saying we should have fought harder. We all should have fought hard if only the army hadn't surrendered like a bunch of Frenchmen. Why aren't we fighting back? Why aren't we strangling the Jerrys in the alleyways? Why aren't we sabotaging the cars instead of running scrap drives for them? And I say, well, there's 43 tanks on the hill is why. And he calls me a coward. Oh yes, thank God for those tanks, he says. His gang are trying to shut him up because Tommy and Harry and I have dropped the darts and are coming over with mayhem in our eyes. But he keeps at it. If not for those precious tanks, you bastards would have to do something. And the worst of it is, I know what no one else in the room knows, or wants to know, that the tanks are newspaper and glue, and if Jack knew, maybe he'd have the sense not to say it. But soon, we're getting into it, and the Jerrys have to send in a squad of MPs to pull me off of them. Of course, they're a little nicer to me than to Jack and his gang, because I work for them, don't I? And Jack sees it, and he just smiles at me, shaking his head, and all I could think of was, you don't get to smirk at me, you actor. You're hiding your daughter, and we're all keeping your secret and you're superior? So I tell the Germans where to find her. I knew I should have kept my mouth zipped, but I can't stop talking once I've started. I never thought they'd shoot her. I never thought she was in any danger at all. But I knew it would hurt more than anything sending her off, and I knew he was right and I was wrong, and I had to wipe that smirk off his face, or I couldn't stand myself. May God have mercy on my soul. Wow. So here's the shitty thing. I'm up for time now, and I don't feel like there's a whole lot left, but I am going to end it here. That way when we come back, depending if there is an Act 4, I don't have to like do some weird shit. So I am going to end it here, and when we come back, it's either going to be the end of the game, or we're going to jump into Act 4. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and say comment down below, subscribe, share. It helps me out. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you later. Bye.